Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do your January the 28th just for today in a meditation. Hope you're having a beautiful morning. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. All right, let's see what we have here. The title of the meditation, An Everyday Addict. We can never fully recover, no matter how long we stay clean. Basic text, page 84. After getting a little time in the program, some of us begin to think we have been cured. We've learned everything NA has to teach us. We've grown bored with the meetings, and our sponsor keeps joining the same old refrain: the steps, the steps, the steps. We decided it's time to get on with our lives, cut way back on meetings, and try to make up for the years we have lost to active addiction. We do this, however, at the peril of our recovery. Those of us who have relapsed after such an episode often try to go to as many meetings as we can. Some of us go to a meeting every day for several years. It may take that long for us to understand that we will always be addicts. We may feel well some days and sick on other days, but we are addicts every day. At any time, we are subject to delusion, denial, rationalization, justification, insanity, all the hallmarks of the typical addict's way of thinking. If we want to continue living and enjoying life without the use of drugs, we must practice an active program of recovery each day. Just for today, I am an addict every day, but today I have the choice to be a recovering addict. I will make that choice by practicing my program. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer, please. Moment of silence now. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. An everyday addict. For some, I would believe that the discussion would be more about the power of words. And so I want to rest on that today. I want to talk about the power of the words or the thoughts that come from you about you. Let's not even talk about what other people think about us, because we know last to be lost is the stigma, the old stigma of once an addict, always an addict. Now that's a stigma, that's a stereotype. So now let's talk about that stigma of once an addict, always an addict in our own minds, our own spirits, our own thoughts, as it relates to this meditation in everyday addict. Because some will say, if that's a stigma that's last to be lost, why should I tell myself? See, I'm going somewhere with this today, because why should I tell myself that I am an addict if I don't want anyone else saying it or having the stigma that once an addict, always an addict? Why should I take my last breath saying I am an addict? What sense does that make? What sense does the title of this meditation even make? An everyday addict. This is where I counsel people to say to them, let's not play word games, right? Because we know the essence of this meditation is not saying don't change. The essence of this meditation is not saying, speak harmful words to yourself, believe those harmful words, and then you will produce the actions that go along with it. In the beginning of this meditation, it is talking specifically about individuals that got tired of going to meetings, got tired of saying, I am an addict. They got tired of their sponsor. They got tired of the functions and made a decision that, I don't need it. I don't need it. Let me seek my education, or let me go to church, or let me go to the mosque, or let me go sit in nature. Let me go to the moon, right? They made that decision, and then eventually they picked up and were off to the races again. They came back because possibly they had a mansion on the hill and lost everything because there was no self-acceptance that there's something in them that is obsessive and compulsive. One is too many and 1,000 is never enough. And so they made their way back to the program. And now they're back in the routine of being actively involved on a daily basis. That's what this really is talking about. Remembering that, no, not that you have high blood pressure, not that you have a failing kidney, not that you have a weak heart and need to see a cardiologist every 6 months, not that we're obese and need to watch what we're putting in our mouth and make sure that we're burning the calories that we're actually taking in, not sedentary. No. Not that you have cancer and need to go get chemotherapy until it goes into remission. No, not that. But the disease of addiction. People don't want to claim that disease, right? Because usually that disease has symptoms, outward signs that you have it. So I can have self-acceptance and say, a bit obese, need to lose weight. High blood pressure, need to watch your salt intake. Take your medicine and be well. But now come to me about having the disease of addiction. An everyday addict. There's not a day of my life that I don't think about my high blood pressure. There's not a day that goes by. I can open my eyes and know instantly. You better find out what your numbers are. You better get that blood pressure cuff. You better find out what it is. But while you're finding out what it is, you need your amlodipine. You need to take your blood pressure medication, MightyStream. I can tell by the way that my chest and my head feels whether or not my blood pressure is too high. I'm mindful of my condition. It doesn't control me, because if I want to eat something salty, I will. It doesn't control me, but I am mindful of who I am and what's going on with me. That's what the essence of this meditation is saying. Be mindful. Be mindful. So what we do around here is, instead of saying I'm an addict, because we do know the power of words, we say I am a recovering addict. Or some other people, when it comes to cancer, they'll say I'm a cancer survivor. I just personally am not going to go around saying I'm a drug survivor. But I will tell you, I'm a recovering addict. The power of words, you're right, is very powerful. It's very powerful. We could talk about this all day long. And again, I would just say, let's not play word games. Let's go deeper. Let's go into our spirituality and know the essence of what we're saying. Because even when we're saying, I'm a recovering addict, some people will say, well, why can't I say I'm recovered? You say whatever you want to say. But you and I know that just because you're not picking up drugs and have a beautiful home and a beautiful family and a white picket fence does not mean that every day you have the life within, in your energy, in your spirit of a recovered individual. You have the outworkings of it, but we still have the dis-ease within us sometimes. And in an instant, we can go from being recovered to having to actively pursue recovery. And then we would instantly are recovering. You see that? It's a very fragile balance there. And if you're not in tune to who you are, if you don't know your patterns, if you haven't done your step work and been able to get some assistance in identifying the character defects as a result of having done your moral inventory and gone over it with someone, if you haven't gotten that, you may have it without doing all of that, but this is something that has helped other people get to where they need to be in a sense of self-awareness, so they can have some self-acceptance and know their patterns and see themselves coming down the block and say, hey, today I will not tell a small lie. I will not, because a small lie is going to lead to a larger lie. You know, there's some people that every word comes, every other sentence is a lie. They're not even conscientious of the fact that they're habitual liars. Yeah. But with recovery, with the spiritual principles of the program, with the steps that your sponsor keeps pushing, you're able to see yourself coming, and you can say, you know what? I am an addict every day, but today I have the choice to be a recovering addict. I will make that choice by practicing my program. Won't you do that today? I hope so. You've been in the flow of the stream, so we need to get out there and do something mighty and make today, January 28th, the most beautiful day that you have ever lived on purpose. We are going into the month of March already of 2023, and some people said the world was ending. You remember that? The world was ending. And it may actually be, but it's in the process of it. And so while it's in the process, we need to live fully. Live fully, intentionally, with purpose. So have a beautiful day on purpose. Talk to you soon.